So the Las Vegas Aces have lost basically their entire team. Almost their entire team is gone.
What if I told you that A'ja Wilson, the MVP of the Las Vegas Aces, isn't just their biggest star, but also their biggest problem? A leaked interview with Wilson has sent shockwaves through the WNBA, exposing deep issues within the championship team as it falls apart before our eyes. The Aces have lost nearly everyone from last season. Who's left? Just Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray. Wilson admitted it wasn't a championship locker room. But the real bombshell isn't just her words, it's what happened next. A mass exodus of players is reshaping the future of the WNBA.
They've lost basically everyone. If we want to look at the Vegas Aces team from last year, who's still remaining? The MVP, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. That is it.
It looks like she got tired of Vegas. Maybe she wanted to get away from Becky Hammon and A'ja Wilson too. I'm not saying that for sure, but that's how it seems. A lot of players are leaving. Tiffany Hayes just left yesterday, and I think someone else followed right after. Now it looks like Alicia Clark might be on her way out too. No excuses, these players want out of Vegas. Imagine this, A'ja Wilson, the WNBA's reigning MVP and two-time champion, sits down for what seems like a regular interview with a top Las Vegas journalist. At first, it's all smiles, reminiscing about championships. But then the mood shifts. The energy in the room changes. And suddenly, Wilson drops a statement so big, it leaves everyone speechless.
She got tired of Vegas. You know what? She wanted to get away from Becky Hammon and A'ja Wilson too, probably, dog. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's what it's looking like. A lot of these players is trying to get up out of there. Tiffany Hayes was the latest one yesterday. No, I believe somebody else left after her. Now, I think Alyssa Clark might be gone. But make no excuses about it, bruh. These women want to get away from.
Right now, they're left with a bare-bones roster. They need to fill almost every position. This is no longer a top 5 team in the league, and they're patching up the lineup with minimum contracts.
We are left with a shell of a roster right now. They have to fill out every other spot. They have a not top 5 roster in the W, and they have to fill out every other spot with minimum contract.
It wasn't a championship locker room. Wilson admits it, her voice serious and weighted. From the start of training camp, she knew, we don't have it. Can you believe it? The star player of the Las Vegas Aces, a team that looked unstoppable, just admitted they were never built to win the season.
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great. It looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate because that's how I get the best out of my team.
And Wilson doesn't stop there. She opens up about tension, clashing egos, and a team that just couldn't come together. The kind of drama that could rival a reality show. Here's where it gets even juicier. Wilson says she knew from the start that this wasn't a championship team. Before the season even began, she had conversations with Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray about needing stronger leadership, both on and off the court. That's a bold call out for the whole team to hear.
I don't want to be great for you guys, no offense, but I want to be great for my team. I want to be great for this franchise. It is hard as shit. It is hard as shit because there's tons of people that want to break you down. Great teams in this league that are going to try to come after you every single night. But when it comes to taking accountability, I have no problem in that because I want to be great. I want to be great for my teammates. So yes, it can start in practice. Yes, it starts in training camp. Yes, it starts in the wins and the losses. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to challenge myself and my teammates every single day. Because when you're talking about greatness, it starts with consistency.
Remember Dawn Staley, Wilson's college coach? She taught Wilson an important lesson about what makes a true championship team. According to Wilson, a winning team should look, sound, and feel a certain way. And guess what? By her own admission, this Aces squad failed that test miserably. It was like trying to build a house of cards in a storm. It was never going to hold up.
You might be saying, oh, like if you want to win, why would you ever leave the Aces? Because the Aces aren't that good. Simple as that. The amount of people that are saying, oh, the Aces are like this absolute super team still. Oh, they got Jewel Lloyd. Wow, they got somebody who shoots 26% from 3 and 36% from the field and is like not struggling and unrivaled. For every good game, she has 2 bad games. Like, it's as simple as that. For every good Jewel Lloyd game, she has 2 bad games at this stage in her career.
As the interview goes on, Wilson's frustration is clear. She opens up about trying to fix Ting's game after game, but nothing ever clicked. I kept telling myself, we'll figure it out, We'll check every box, but we never did, she admits. It was like watching a disaster unfold in slow motion. She knew it wouldn't end well, but there was nothing she could do to stop it.
It starts with me, and it's going to always be with me, because I have 11 other women in that locker room that I need to pull greatness out of. So that's where it goes from. If it's talking more, is it trying to fly on the court, is it being a defensive presence? I'm going to be that every single day for my team, because I want them to be great. Not just for rings and banners, because I know the potential that we have in our locker room.
Wilson takes full responsibility. It starts with me, and it's always going to be with me, she says. She knows it's her job to bring out the best in her teammates, whether that means speaking up more, leading by example, or locking in on defense. I'm going to show up every single day because I know the potential we have in this locker room. Speaking of disasters, let's talk about that brutal semifinal loss to the New York Liberty. Wilson reflects on the game, saying she was constantly thinking about how to improve and do more for the team. But let's be real, that thinking didn't turn into action. The Aces' key players put up just 28 points in a do-or-die game. That's not just a bad night, it's a complete meltdown. And then there's Wilson's take on handling team issues. We're going to nip things in the bud when we feel them, she says. Oh, really? Because from the outside, it looks like those problems didn't just linger. They turned into a full-blown crisis while the team stood by and watched.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that because I really like that group. They're a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
As the interview wraps up, Wilson tries to soften the impact of her raw honesty. I love my teammates so much, she says, her voice full of emotion. But after everything she's just revealed, those words feel about as empty as the Aces trophy case is about to be. The interview ends, but the damage is done. Wilson's words linger, a confession that explains everything. The player departures, the team's downfall, the crumbling of what seemed like a dynasty. It all leads back to this moment, this brutally honest glimpse into the Aces locker room over the past season.
Oh, I mean, Becky Hammon, you were right. Congratulations, but did you really think it would be this different, a roster?
Wilson's words didn't just linger. They set off a chain reaction. Remember when the Aces were the dream team? When veterans were willing to take minimum contracts just for a shot at a ring in Vegas? Well, that dream has turned into a nightmare. Now, instead of players lining up to join, they can't leave fast enough.
Guys, the Las Vegas Aces are looking a whole lot lighter after some of these trades and free agency signings that have happened. And guys, it's leaving the bench to look a little sparse.
The Aces roster, once the envy of the league, is falling apart. One by one, key players are heading for the exits. But why? Is it just bad luck, or is there more to the story? Let's break it down. It all started with Kate Martin, a fan favorite and rising star. The Aces left her unprotected in the expansion draft, and before you could blink, the Golden State Valkyrie scooped her up. It was a major loss, leaving fans confused and wondering what was really going on.
Martin blows by Griner, 2 more for Aces, and the lead is...
But that was just the start. Next, Kelsey Plum, the sharpshooter who dropped an impressive 16 points per game last season, swapped her Aces jersey for the purple and gold of the Sparks. The trade had fans scratching their heads, especially since the Aces got Jewel Lloyd in return. But let's be honest, Lloyd is older and less effective. It's like trading in a sleek sports car for an older model. Then there's Tiffany Hayes, the 6th player of the year. You'd think winning an award like that would make you want to stay, right? Not for Hayes. She decided the Rising Valkyries were a better fit than another season in Vegas. Last season, she averaged 9.5 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game. Numbers the Aces will definitely miss, and ones that are likely to improve in San Francisco.
Me and Kate and me, we're as great as we can be. Me and Kate and me, we're as great as we can be.
Wait, there's more. Alicia Clark, a key player for the Aces, chose to return to the Seattle Storm, the team where she'd already won 2 championships. It's like she took one look at the Aces and thought, nah, I'd rather go back to my old team.
with Alicia Clark. According to Ramona Shelburne of ESPN, the Aces wanted to bring back Alicia Clark. But when Seattle came a-knocking, Alicia was like, you know what? I would love to go back to my WNBA home, which is Seattle. Now, guys, if y'all don't know, Alicia Clark won 2 titles with the Seattle Storm in 2018 and 2020. And now at 37 years old, she is looking to bring her 3-and-D game